Hello and welcome back or welcome to the channel. I'm Loudguns, and in today's video I'm going to take a look at what I think are the 10 best ships to buy with your hard-earned aUEC. Since I started this channel, I've always been keen to promote that you do not need to go out and spend lots of hard currency on the game, and instead you can always work your way up, play the game and unlock new ships through grind rather than just swiping that credit card. Now ultimately this is subjective, so I'd be disappointed if there wasn't some healthy disagreement down in the comments. What I'm looking for here is a foundational set of ships that let folks experience multiple avenues of gameplay, not just 10 combat ships or 10 racing ships. So if this sounds good to you, grab a cup of tea while I roll the intro, then let's get into it. So I'm hoping that this will appeal to players both new and old. For the newer amongst you, it might provide a bit of guidance as to what you'd like to try out, while for the more experienced you may be planning ahead to the next time we see a full wipe and our hangars reset. Anyone who's played the game for some time probably knows this ASOC problem all too well. At least we've finally got a search bar. This is all done from the assumption that you'll be starting off with something like a Mustang Alpha or a Drake Cutter starting pack, which really is all you need to get into game with. I've split my list into Tier 1, 7 ships that are all solo friendly and cover a wide variety of game loops, and Tier 2, 3 of the best, more advanced ships that I think will really help you knock things up a notch. The complete set of 10 would set you back just shy of 50 million credits, but this is heavily skewed to the last few in Tier 2. The 7 ships in Tier 1 would cost just 13.2 million. Now for a new player this might seem like a lot, but as you get going, racking up experience by doing missions and learning the various loops, it'll become apparent that this is more than manageable. If you'd like a small head start, just make sure to use a referral code when you create an account for some extra startup capital. Mine's the one up on screen, but if you've got friends who play already, please do just ask them for theirs. So without further ado, let's take a look at some ships. So up first we've got Old Faithful, the Drake Cutlass Black for 2.1 million credits. Now this is where subjectivity starts, because what I'm really trying to say is let's get a solid daily driver. Something that's going to be an upgrade from your starter pack, letting you make longer journeys without pit stops, maybe carrying a bit of cargo so you can move around gear and components, or offering space for a ground vehicle, and giving you the option of taking some friends along. I made an entire video, which I'll link in the description, analysing some of the best daily driver options. But for me the winner is always going to be my Kai Black. This no-nonsense multi-role ship from Drake Interplanetary ticks all my boxes. The size 2 jump drive lets you install faster drives for longer journeys, its 48 SCU of cargo is more than enough to chuck some crates in, and it also has really useful internal storage lockers for when you need to swap items with your friends. The Cutty's also no slouch when it comes to a bit of light combat, sporting 4 size 3s under pilot control, and a top-mounted turret with a further pair of size 3s. So that can just let you get some basic multi-crew outings under your belt if you're playing with a mate. There are quite a few options in this space, and others will favour the Crusader C1, the RSI Zeus, or the MISC Freelancers in this weight class. But for me the final nail in the coffin is the price. Drake ships, given the fact that they are in fact 25% duct tape, tend to offer a lot of bang for your virtual buck. So this is going to be a solid option to make a fast but quite meaningful upgrade to your starter pack. Now with our multi-role slot filled, I think it's time to start getting more specialised. Obviously, if you've got no interest at all in a certain loop, you could skip it completely. But particularly if you're just starting out, I would strongly encourage you to give a little bit of everything a go. The MISC Prospector at 2.8 million is an ideal entry point into the mining profession. With a size 1 laser, you're not going to be able to crack every stone out there, but you'll find plenty of opportunities to turn space rocks into space cash. The main competitor here is the Drake Golem, which at a smidge over 1 million definitely has the price advantage. However, the Prospector for me is a much better learning platform. The Golem's laser is bespoke, meaning it can't be swapped out, whereas the Prospector gives you the full ability to customize your mining build. You can take things easy with entry levels like the Arbor or the Impact, and then dial things up with more powerful lasers like the Helix, where you trade stability for more raw cracking potential. You can also get a slight buff on the Prospector's carrying capacity. While the base for both the Prospe and the Golem is 32 SEU, you can steal Argo MOLE bags and buff your Prospector to 48, giving you more money making potential, but more importantly to my mind, more time spent cracking rocks and less running back and forth to the refinery. Sticking with the industrial theme, we've got the Drake Vulture, that for 2.5 million credits will give you a gateway into the salvaging profession, allowing you to complete salvage missions or go and find your own derelicts to reverse car wash. Salvaging is not only a profitable hobby, but also just one of the most chilled out things to do in game. And while it is always important to keep your wits about you when you're in an open world, I personally love to head out to a quiet spot, pop on my audiobook and fill up on RMC while trying to make it through the Horus Heresy. Once again, Drake's in a head-to-head with MISC, who offer the MISC Fortune at 1.9 million. The Fortune benefits from auto-unloading onto its external cargo grid, meaning you don't have to mess around with moving boxes if you don't want to, but the ability to stack creatively in the Vulture does leave you with a larger total carrying capacity. But for me at least, it's also just plain old rule of cool, and I've got to say there's something about the plucky yellow Vulture that screams cool heavy industry to me, over the clean lines of the Fortune. Now for something completely different, we've got the Anvil C8R Pisces Rescue, which at just over 500k is the cheapest ship on my list, and you can probably afford it after just a single session of gameplay. The C8R is billed as an entry-level medical rescue ship, and while it would indeed let you try your hand as an RP medic, complete with those wee-woo lights, the reality is that most player rescues can be achieved with any ship as long as you bring a medgun to get your patient up and something to get them out of dodging. But there are two big reasons it makes my tier 1 list. First, it makes for a really good fast runner. The claim time is very low, with an expedited claim it will be back in your hands or delivered to a new location in 90 seconds, and it makes for a great zippy runaround, making short work of small hops and orbit to surface travel. And second, it gives you your very own mobile respawn point. The tier 3 medical bed on board is the most simple version available, and only allows for a couple of respawns before you need to reload it. If you're trying your hand at something like bunker missions, it can be invaluable to have a fallback for if you run into some trouble, saving you the hassle of getting back from a space station or city to reclaim your loot. Multi-role ships like the Cutlass Black will usually have reasonable cargo capacity, but what about when you really want to make a haul? Whether you want to check out some of the cargo missions or move your refined mining and salvage products from the refinery to a point of sale, the Argo RAFT coming in at just shy of 3.4 million would be my go-to. The step up in cargo capacity here is substantial, with 192 SEU of space on board, perfectly capable of carrying 6 of the largest 32 SEU containers. The ship-mounted tractor beam also makes moving your cargo from freight elevator to ship and vice versa incredibly convenient, particularly if you're working with a friend. As ever, keep in mind that you can rent ships in SC, and the RAFT would be one that I would recommend to get your hands on like this to begin with, allowing you to rack up serious credits with cargo hauling to get yourself set up. But when you own a ship, you get the opportunity to customize and upgrade the components, so I'd also be getting this properly into my hangar ASAP. Sorry for making combat enthusiasts wait this long, but part of me thinks that something like your Cutlass can actually carry you pretty far in terms of ship-to-ship pew-pew. However, your tier 1 hangar isn't going to be complete without a proper dedicated fighter. For me, this is the Anvil F7C Mk2, setting you back 4.9 million. Again, some of this is going to be personal preference, but I believe more objectively that this medium fighter provides a really good platform for folks looking to up their game in ship combat. You get more durability than you would out of a light fighter, without the loss of maneuverability that you suffer with heavies. And you're not short of firepower. As stock it comes with 2 size 4s, but with a little customization you can get a total of 6 weapons strapped to this thing. Given the available slots I had on this list, I wanted to focus on one solid fighter. If you can't wait to get behind the sticks of a nippy combat ship, then check out the Aegis Gladius for 2.4 million credits. And finally for my tier 1 list, I'm feeling the need for speed with the Mirai Razor at 1.9 million. This really speaks to my try everything philosophy when it comes to Star Citizen. And I think something that so many players miss out on is ship rating. While different courses will reward different ships, the Razor is my favourite entry-level racing ship. as while often not the fastest around the tracks, it's more intuitive to fly and more forgiving than some of the other options. Strictly speaking, this isn't even one you need to buy in-game, as Arena Commander right now offers a better racing experience to my mind, since the PU racing mission stopped working. But please do drop into AC and give this fantastic loop a go. If you're keen to learn more, swing by the FRCN Discord using the link in the video description, as we have some of the fastest racers in the verse in our race team, and they're always happy to help newbies. Okay, so I know I said 10 ships, but at the end of Tier 1, I think it's worth a little bonus round to cover off a few ground vehicles. These are distinctly cheaper than ships and rarely have a standalone use case. They can be a fantastic addition to your hangar to provide you with additional utility. The Argo Atlas will cost you 75k and greatly speed up any cargo loading duties, while its brother the Argo Atlas Geo offers the cheapest entry point into mining at 91k. There are other gem miners, the Greycat Rock and Rock DS, but the Geo is great for chunking through either hand mineable gems or the larger sized vehicle nodes. Plus, jetpacks. And I'd also consider investing in a hover bike. For beginners, I think the Drake Dragonfly at 343k would be my pick. It has a stable platform and is a bit more forgiving on the landings, plus you can carry a mate in the seat on the back. Bikes are perfect for getting into hostile ground locations where you might otherwise get shot down. So with that quick detour, we're now into Tier 2. These ships aren't going to offer distinct gameplay over the 7 in Tier 1, but they do let you do it bigger and better. While I said I would try and remain as objective as possible, a little of my own bias is always going to sneak in, so of course the Argo MOLE at 8.4 million is going to make my list. The Prospector is going to let you build up your experience with the mining profession and experiment with the various lasers, modules and gadgets to find great rock cracking combos. But if you want to smash your way through the biggest rock, you'll need a bigger boat, and some friends. The MOLE, or Multi-Operator Laser Extractor, has a total of 3 mining turrets, each packing a size 2 laser, allowing you to mix and match lasers to fine-tune your build, and the cargo capacity of 96 SU is 3 times that of the smaller ships. Just for anyone wondering whether 3 Prospectors or Golems wouldn't achieve the same job, it's worth noting that each time you add a separate ship's laser to a rock, you increase its instability, whereas 3 lasers working together from a single MOLE avoid this debuff, making it the perfect platform for multi-crew outings. At 7.6 million, the RSI Constellation Taurus is a fair bit pricier than your RAFT, and this cargo variant of the Constellation series is actually a bit of a step down in terms of carrying capacity at 168 SCU. However, I wouldn't actually view this as a replacement for the RAFT, but more an upgrade to your Cutty Black as a sturdier daily driver. With 4 size 5 weapons under pilot control, plenty of missiles and a gunner's turret as well as one for the tractor beam, the Connie can dish out a lot of DPS, and its size 3 shield makes it pretty sturdy in a fight. So if you're looking for something to duke it out as a crew with some of the higher levels of combat, but before you've built up enough to look for something like the Polaris cap ship, this could be an excellent choice. Other versions of the Constellation also come with a snub fighter, and in most cases more turrets. However, I feel that having the bonus cargo space is more effective, since it can be really useful for shoot and loot type combat, where you're looking to steal cargo from defeated enemies. Just for anyone who comes to this video a bit later on after its release, if you're in the market for more of a multi-crew combat ship, I would definitely take a look and see if the Anvil Paladin has made it to the in-game ship shops yet. At the time of recording, this is a cash-only ship, so obviously it couldn't make my list, but I'd definitely be tempted to consider that over a Connie when it arrives at a dealership near you. And finally for my 10, we've got the Crusader C2 Hercules at bang on 18.9 million. Hercules is no longer the biggest cargo ship in game, but it is the largest that can land planet side, meaning that its 696 SCU capacity can go from any point A to any point B. The MISC Hull C, which dedicated space truckers may want to sub into their list, carries a massive 4608 SCU, but it can only move it between space stations. But the C2's versatility doesn't end at planet-side drop-offs. It's also the multi-use nature of its big box interior. Not only can you use it as a great cargo hauler, but it can be used to transport the biggest ground vehicles in game or as a fob for a mining operation if you bring along spare bags and want to switch them out on the fly. As such, despite the price tag, it's one that I'll always look to add back into my in-game hangar anytime there's a wipe. But there you have it for my list of the best 10 ships to buy in-game. If you enjoyed the vid and think I earned it, please do consider hitting like, subscribing for more content, and tickling the notification bell to stay up to date. As quite a generalist player, I've tried to steer through as many game loops as I could, but for you the list may look quite different if you've got different niches you're looking to fill. So do let me know down in the comments what you would be subbing in and out. Obviously there's far more to dive into SC than what we've covered with this 10 ship focus. And with things like Wicklow, even the largest ships are available to earn in game. But to do all this, and to actually crew them, you'll need to find some mates to play with. So yes, indeed, the mystery 11th ship from the list is a friendship. If you're looking to crew up with folks in game, then do hop into our Discord via the link down below. We run regular events to get people a taste of what the larger ships are all about, and if you ever want to borrow a ship to try out in the first place, you can just come and ask. With all that said, thank you very much for watching to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.